Hello everyone. Today I'm very privileged and be honored to be in here to deliver a speech entitled The Bandwagon Effect Should Be Inhibited. Before I start my speech, have you ever followed suit with someone when doing some decision, scared to be alone, and feel uncomfortable when you are the only one doing something? If you are having this feeling, you are a bandwagon fan? Absolutely. Bandwagon effects may sometimes benefit us, but most of the time, it brings more adverse and detrimental effect to us. Thus, you should stop being a bandwagon fan promptly. I'm quite an observable person and have discovered most of the people in the society have practiced bandwagon act unconsciously, whether you want to admit or not. This can be seen most of the visitors will be in a grand opening restaurant or places. I have also read some book and materials about the bandwagon effect is due to psychology. Today, I would like to persuade you to stop being a bandwagon fan by explaining to you the bandwagon effect is associated with psychological cause, cognitive bias, and the bandwagon effects can also found in marketing. First and foremost, the bandwagon effect is associated with behavior which are psychological cause. I want my audience to believe that following the crowd and following popular trends can be attributed to normative social influence. One of the causes of normative social influence, which is the tendency and desire to fit in with the crowd and gain approval from others. Sometimes they can be far more dangerous when certain ideas begin to take hold, such as particular attitude towards health issues like misuse of certain supplement. Bandwagon effect can have serious and damaging consequences. Thus, I believe that all the audience have the smart eye and choices in dealing and prevent us from being a bandwagon fans unconsciously. Herd behavior, which is the way individuals in a group team. As more people adopt a particular trend, the more likely it becomes the other people will also hop on the bandwagon when it seems that everyone is doing something and there's a tremendous pressure to follow suit, which is why the bandwagon behaviors tend to form so easily. A desire to be right and want to be part of the winning side. Part of the reason people behave like this as they look to other people in their social group for information about what is right or acceptable. Fear of exclusion and missing out can make people susceptible to the bandwagon effect also. People generally do not want to be the odd, so going alone and following the steps with the rest of the group is a way to ensure inclusion and social acceptance, like if one sheep leaps over the ditch, all the rest will follow. Furthermore, the bandwagon effect can have a powerful influence on people in many areas of life. When people see a comment on social media that receives a lot of likes or upvotes, they become more likely to watch it themselves, and when people see the others are pumping money into the stock market, they become likely to invest too, which can lead to speculative bubbles and market crashes. Besides, the bandwagon effects can influence consumer decisions regarding which product to buy. For example, people often buy the same type of clothes or products which the ambassadors are wearing because they want to show that they are following the latest fashion trends. After we see the bandwagon effects due to psychological cause, let's move to another point. The bandwagon effect is a cognitive bias that causes people to think or act a certain way if they believe that others are doing the same. Based on the definition on Wikipedia, cognitive bias is a systematic pattern of deviation from rationality, which occurs due to the way our cognitive system works. Accordingly, cognitive bias causes us to be irrational in the way we search for, evaluate, interpret, judge, use, and remember information, as well as in the way we make decisions. Well-known example of bandwagon effects appears in what is often referred to as the elevator experiment. Unknown individuals entered an elevator where everyone else was facing backward. despite that being a completely unnatural thing to do, right? And many individuals still went with the crowd and rode the elevator facing away from the door. After we see the bandwagon effect is due to psychological cause, let's move to another point. Based on the Wikipedia, illusion of transparency, which causes us to believe that our thoughts and emotions are more apparent to others. That is actually the case. Do you have the common ground with me? That we experience this bias because when we are trying to assess how other people see us, it's hard for us to adjust from the angle of our own perspective. It causes people to overestimate the degree to which their thoughts and emotions are apparent to us. For example, the illusion of transparency can cause people who feel nervous and have butterflies in your stomach when they are public speaking to overestimate the degree to which their nervousness is noticed by the audience. How much do you think people know about how you feel is actually less than how much people actually know. However, much of the people tend to go with the flow and adhere to the norm. I believe that all of you are a bandwagon fans whether you want to admit or not. Sometimes we follow the crowd and lose our own integrity. We know that bandwagon is due to psychological cause and cognitive bias. So now let's move to the last point. Bandwagon effects in marketing is perceived popularity, like limit availability in store to encourage buying behavior. This is one of the most used advertising techniques you will find in digital marketing. Not only does the urgency and the flash sales make you irrational buying, but the perceived popularity makes you think it must be a good choice, but actually it's just a false appearance. The bandwagon effect in marketing has appeared popular by using scarcity tactics, dominate the market and be everywhere, otherwise known as the mere exposure effect. The more people perceive it as popular, the stronger the effect, like sales snowball, dominate your daily conversation. This can be seen as give shoppers and consumers reason to jump on the bandwagon by involving your brand in their wider conversations, such as on social media like Facebook, Instagram. The bandwagon effect is even more prevalent on social platforms. The influencer has trying to making billions from becoming trendsetters and getting others to follow suit. The customer testimonial and company logos to showcase happy customer, as well as highlighting key statistics to support case study and prove their value. Luxury hotels even offer free overnight stay to these influencers just so they will share images of the hotel rooms and facilities, subconsciously encouraging their followers to quite literally follow their footsteps. After we have seen numerous bandwagon effects, we should stop being a bandwagon fan, as it can affect us in decision making, make us follow blindly but not rationally, and lose our own identity. In conclusion, we should stop the bandwagon effect, as bandwagon is associated with behavior which are psychological cause, cognitive bias, and has the effect in marketing. Let's together inhibit the bandwagon effects in our daily life, try to make decisions independently. However, you can ask around for opinions, but evaluate them before making a new ads. Thank you.